Hello friends, welcome to my channel A to Z Learning World. Today we will be discussing about industrial relations. The topics that I have covered are industrial relations, the approaches to industrial relations, Industrial Dispute Act 1947, methods of industrial disputes, and important MCQs based on this topic. Now, first one, definition of industrial relation. This is one of the most simplest definition. Industrial relation are the relationship between management and workers and the role of regulatory mechanism in resolving any industrial dispute. Now, this definition means that why the industrial relation exists to maintain the relationship within industry. Industry relation helps to maintain a peaceful relation between management and workers and also act as a regulatory mechanism in solving any kind of industrial dispute. So that is what the role of industrial relations. Then parties to industrial relation, that is parties involved in industrial relation. One is employees, other is trade unions. That is sometimes we need to negotiate with other one. So we need a external representatives. All the employees cannot go and negotiate. So we need representative. So there are certain organizations who help these representatives. So that together combine it means the trade union. The other is employers and government. Government will act as a mediator in certain times by introducing certain rules when the industrial relationship cannot handle by the organization. Then objectives of industrial relation. Higher productivity. Industrial relation which helps to increase the productivity of the organization. Then industrial peace. That is industrial relation which helps to maintain a peaceful relationship between management and workers and avoid the industrial conflict. And industrial relation which helps to improve the working condition in the organization. This all are the objectives of industrial relation. Then moving to approaches to industrial relation. One is unitary approach and the other is pluralistic approach and Marxist approach. These are the three main objectives of approaches to industrial relation. Then we can go in detail what is unitary approach. This approach simply says that industrial conflict which is arises because of some small issues or because of some small negligence from the management sides that can be erased by promoting the mutual cooperation or by individual behavior. That is by understanding the individual behavior and promoting the teamwork and setting up a common goal. Then pluralistic approach. This approach is just the opposite of unitary approach. This approach says that it is necessary to be focused on collective bargaining, conciliation and arbitration. What is this collective bargaining? Collective bargaining, that means it involves the negotiation and discussion between the two groups as to the terms and conditions of the employment. That is collective bargaining. Then what is conciliation? That is conciliation means it refers to the process which representatives of workers and also the employers who are brought together before a third party to arrive at an agreement by mutual discussion between them. Then what is this arbitration called? That is, the third party will come to resolve the dispute among the employees. That is arbitration. Okay, these terms will be go in detail in next coming section. Okay, then Marxist approach. What is this approach? That is, this is related to society. Like the pluralistic approach, conflict between the employers and employees is inevitable. Normally this is related to society. Industrial conflict does not arise because of management problem or because of employees problem. It arises because of division of society. That is, the individual needs are different because of society provides less to some category of people and society provide more to other category of people. So because of this differences, there arises conflict in the industry also. That approach is called the Marxist approach. Okay, this all are the approaches to industrial relations. Next, I move on to the topic Industrial Dispute Act. Industrial Dispute Act 1947. Here, I given a simple definition for Industrial Dispute Act. Industrial Dispute Act 1947, as defined in Section 2K of Industrial Dispute Act 1947, industrial dispute means any dispute or differences between employees and employers, or between employers and workmen, or between workmen, and which is connected with the employment or non-employment or the terms of employment or with the condition of labor of any person. So this basically means industrial dispute or otherwise the fight which is arises. It means that when your employees or labor are dissatisfied with the existing condition or working condition, definitely there will some kind of agitations will rise and cause the bad relationship between employee and employers, or some kind of protest will rise in mind of workmen, and that is how the industrial dispute starts. For the clear understanding, I will show this industrial dispute through illustration. How the industrial dispute arises? The industrial dispute which is arises between employers and employees, employees and employees, and between employers and employers. What is the reasons for industrial dispute? What are the main reasons for industrial dispute? This dispute which arises may be related with work or with working condition or with working hours, or in the cases of non-payment of wages or with the delay of payment or non-payment of compensation. That is, employees has been raising their voice for raising the wages, salaries, bonus, so that they can improve their standard of living. These are the main reasons of arising dispute. Then what are the main consequences of dispute? Who are the consequences? The employees will make use of the strikes or agitation in order to enact the industrial action upon employers about the demand they have, that is to accept their demands in the organization. And also the employers will make use of lockouts and layoff as a weapon to compel their workers to meet their work demands. Okay, then what is this lockout? Lockout which is done by the employers to put the pressure on the workers by stopping the work. The reason to do this, so that the workers will start work according to the terms and condition of the employers. Okay, then who will be affected because of this dispute? Employees are affected. Normally it will reduce the performance of the business. If the employer and employee is affected, then definitely the industry will affected. It helps to reduce the performance of employees. If the industry is affected, the nation and the state will affected. Okay. Then there are certain methods for settlement of these disputes. We can look on what are the methods for settlement of industrial dispute. One is the conciliation. What is this conciliation means? In simple sense, conciliation means reconciliation of differences between persons. Conciliation, which refers to the process by which representatives of workers and employers are brought together before a third party with a view to persuading them to arrive at an agreement by mutual discussion between them. That is, it refers to the process by which the representatives of both the workers and employees who are brought together before a third party. For what? To arrive at an agreement by mutual discussion between them. Normally the conciliation, which consists of conciliation officer, board of conciliation, court of inquiry, etc. The alternative name which is used for conciliation is mediation. That is, mediator is appointed. The third party may be a one individual or group of people. Okay, then what is arbitration? Arbitration is a process in which the conflicting parties agree to refer the dispute to a neutral third party known as arbiter. That is, here the conflicting parties who agree to refer the dispute to a neutral third party, that is known as arbiter. Then arbitration, which is differ from conciliation in the sense that in arbitration the arbiter gives his judgment on a dispute, while in conciliation the conciliator, the disputing parties to reach at a decision. That is the main differences between the arbitration and conciliation. And the arbiter does not enjoy any judicial power. Okay, normally the arbitration is of two types: voluntary arbitration and compulsory arbitration. Voluntary arbitration, here both the conflicting parties will appoint a neutral third party as arbiter. Then compulsory arbitration, that means the government can force the disputing parties to go for compulsory arbitration. Okay, then what is adjudication? The ultimate remedy for the settlement of any industrial dispute is its reference to adjudication by labor court or tribunals when conciliation machinery fails to bring about a settlement. Adjudication, which consists of setting disputes through intervention by the third party that is appointed by the government. That is, the ultimate legal remedy for the settlement of an unresolved dispute is its reference to adjudication by the government. Okay, these are the three methods for settlement of industrial disputes. That is, the Industrial Dispute Act of 1947. That is, the main objective of this act is to protect the workman and to ensure the social justice to both the employers and employees. And the unique objective of this act is to promote this collective bargaining and to maintain a peaceful atmosphere in the industries by avoiding the illegal strikes and lockouts. And the act also which provides for regulation of layoff and also retrenchment. The objective of the Industrial Dispute Act is to secure the industrial peace and harmony by providing machinery and procedure for the investigation and settlement of industrial disputes by negotiation. That is the Industrial Dispute Act 1947. Okay. Then we can move on to the important MCQs related to the topic. Please be practice some questions based on this industrial relation, Industrial Dispute Act 1947. These are the one of the important topics that is asked for UGC net management, such as labor welfare, industrial relation, and some acts coming under that. Please be go through this and be practice some questions. First question: Dash approach of industrial relations regards conflict between employers and employees as inevitable. Option A, unitary approach. Option B, pluralistic approach. Option C, Marxist approach. Option D, both B and C. Which one? Both B and C. That is, pluralistic approach and Marxist approach says that industrial relation regards the conflict between employers and employees as inevitable. So answer is option D, both B and C. Then second question, which of the following is not included under industrial relations policy of a country? Option A, recognition of trade unions and collective bargaining. Yes, it's included under the industrial relation. Then option B, restriction of strikes and lockouts. Yes, it's included. Then option C, workers' participation in management. This is also included under the industrial relation policy. Then option D, principles of wage determination. Is it included? No. So answer is option D, principles of wage determination. Then move on to the next question. Which of the following is not an approach to industrial relations? Option A, unitary approach. Option B, pluralistic approach. Option C, Marxist approach. Option D, employees approach. Answer is D, employees approach. Then move on to the next question. Peaceful industrial relation denotes. Option A, absence of strikes and lockouts. Yes. Option B, emphasizes of bipartisan. What is this bipartisan means? That is bipartisan, which is a system of industrial relation. That is where the social and labor issues which are discussed between the trade unions and management. It is a system of industrial relationship. So option C, then cooperation between the parties. Yes. Option D, all of the above. Then answer is option D, all of the above. Peaceful industrial relation denotes this all thing. Then move on to the fifth question. The history of conciliation which is started in India from. Option A, the Employers and Workmen Dispute Act 1980. Option B, the Trade Dispute Act 1921. Option C, the Defense of Indian Rules 1940. Option D, Industrial Dispute Act 1947. Which is the answer? Trade Dispute Act 1921. Option B. Then compulsory arbitration means A, the reference of the dispute by an appropriate government to an arbiter appointed by the appropriate government. Option B, the reference of dispute by an appropriate government to an arbiter mutually agreed upon by the parties. Option C, taking the dispute to a third person by the parties. Option D, none of the above. What is the answer? We already discussed what is compulsory arbitration. Compulsory arbitration is means the government can force the disputing parties to go for compulsory arbitration. So answer is option A. Then move on to the next question. Collective bargaining in India has been used as a method of settlement of industrial disputes under. Option A, Industrial Dispute Act 1947. Option B, Code of Discipline in Industry. Option C, Inter-Union Code of Conduct. Option D, none of the above. Which is the answer? You will be get when you go through this section, you will be get easily the answer. Answer is option A, the Industrial Dispute Act 1947. Okay, keep on practicing so many questions. Okay, thank you.